Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make Ermine Frosting. This cooked flour frosting is the traditional frosting used to make a red velvet cake, but it's also good on so many other flavors of cake, and it's easy to make. Get a larger saucepan heating over low heat, then add in 2 cups of sugar and half a cup of all-purpose flour. Then take a whisk and stir this all together and let that toast for about 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, slowly start pouring in 2 cups of whole milk. 2% or 1% milk will work, but I do prefer using whole milk because after all, this is a frosting, you want the full fat content. Once all the milk is in there, increase the heat to medium and we're gonna bring this to a simmer. After a couple of minutes, you'll notice bubbles forming on top and you'll get this light layer of foam. It might be tempting to crank the heat up to high to speed things up, but you don't want to do that as you might scald the milk. A couple minutes later, as it comes to a simmer, you'll notice that that foamy layer increases, so go ahead and reduce the heat to low, and then the foam will quickly disappear, and you want to cook it for another 1 to 2 minutes until it reaches a pudding-like consistency. Then we're going to pour this mixture into a bowl that we're going to then put into the fridge. This frosting does take some time to make because you'll need to let this cool completely before moving on with the rest of the recipe. To prevent a film from forming on top of this mixture, you'll want to put plastic wrap so that it's directly against that top layer of your little pudding mixture, not on the sides of the bowl, which is how you normally cover a bowl with plastic wrap. It'll take about 1 to 2 hours in the fridge for this to cool off completely. Next, you'll need 2 cups of softened butter, and you want that super soft to room temperature. Then use a hand mixer to cream this until light and fluffy for a whole 2 minutes. After a couple of minutes, you'll have beaten a lot of air into there, and you'll see that the butter looks even more white and loses its yellow appearance. Next, you'll grab that pudding-like mixture from the fridge and remove the plastic wrap, and then we're going to add this to the butter about 1 to 2 tablespoons at a time, mixing in between each spoonful. This is kind of an exercise of patience because you want to mix really well in between and beat in a ton of air. This will ensure that not only does our frosting taste good, but it'll also have that beautiful, light, fluffy texture that spreads easily on a cake. Once the pudding mixture is all mixed in, you'll add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and just a generous pinch of salt and mix that in. You can see that this is quite a bit of fluffy frosting. It's enough to frost a 3-layer cake, so feel free to have the recipe if you need to. Now this frosting can stay good at room temperature for about 6 hours as long as it's not too hot because of course heat melts all buttercream based frostings. Otherwise it needs to stay in the fridge. Thanks for watching. You can find the full written recipe in the video description. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow, and check out the rest of my videos where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes you can easily make at home. We'll see you later.